So you may have just joined us as John Marshall passed us in his BMW. What a noise as it echoes through the glens of Mull. So you join me, Stevie Brown, on stage 5, final stage of the night. And it was again our rally leader, Paul McKinnon, that set the fastest stage time. 8 minutes, 13 seconds, 0.4. But the big story of the night, for me anyway, is that Callum Duffy, in his first ever rally in a Rally 2 car, he's setting incredible times. Just 4 seconds, I was checking my maths there, 4 seconds slower than Paul, who has a lot of experience in these cars, than on this stage. 10 miles, 4 seconds. Duffy did the stage 8 minutes, 17 seconds, 0.8. The best of the rest, that was Fergus Barlow. Bit of a slow start for him. He had a stall on the first stage. He's on his fight back. He completes the stage 8 minutes 28. While a further 10 seconds back was Neil Roskell on 8:39. As for our next car, it's just approaching. Sounds like an Escort. It is indeed car 34, Billy Beard in the Mark II Escort. In terms of the two-wheel drive battle, fastest time through this stage was set by Stephen Thompson in a Mark II Escort car 11. He completed the stage in 9 minutes 12 seconds. To put that in perspective, that's 59 seconds slower than Paul McKinnon. Now, yes, Paul is in a modern spec Rally 2 Skoda, which we know is very capable, but I think that goes to show just the pace, because Stephen was passing here with great commitment, and it's a quick car, so it just goes to show how hot the pace is at the top. Car 37, a little Skoda Fabia. Looking at the overall results now as we complete the opening leg of the 2025 Beatson Building Supplies Mull Rally. Paul Beaton leads the way with a lead of 1 minute 6 seconds. A commanding lead from a charging Callum Duffy. What can he do over the remaining 2 legs of this rally as he beds himself in and gets more and more comfortable in that Fiesta? It's still all to play for. Fergus Barlow is on his charge back up the leaderboard as well. He is 2 minutes and 9 seconds behind Paul McKinnon and just 1 minute and 3 seconds behind Callum. Sounds a lot, but that's just a puncture here on Mull and could be easily lost. Fourth place is Neil Roskell and Daniel Barrett in the Ford Fiesta Rally 2. 2 minutes and 11 seconds behind the charging McKinnon and just 2.2 seconds behind Fergus Barlow. Rounding out the top 5, it is Scott Macbeth and Andrew Faulkner in their Volkswagen Polo Rally 5. 2 minutes 15 down on Paul and just 3 seconds behind Neil Roskell. Meanwhile, in the two-wheel drive battle, It is. I was just double checking there. It is Stephen Thompson that leads the way in the escort. 22. Sorry, he is 4 minutes 48 seconds off of leader Paul McKinnon. But over a minute ahead of his nearest two-wheel rival, which is Gordon Montana Morrison. Craig Rutherford rounds out our top 3 runners in the two-wheel drive category. Finishing the overnight halt 12th overall and 6 minutes and 9 seconds from rally leader's time, Paul McKinnon. Just looking across to the horizon there, we can see the next car rounding the corner of a ferry, making his way down the fast straight towards us. He'll be with us in around 30 seconds. A little bit more moisture in the air, it's just threatening to rain. We have Luke Barry streaming live from the end of this stage, catching the drivers before, just as they finish the last rally. It looks like this car has had a wee bash. The spotlight's pointing up to the sky. Something's not right here. Is something loose, or has he bumped into something? The lights are not pointing in the direction that they should be. Yeah, definitely something's going on there. He's been caught by the car behind him. And that is the rain on.
It looks like it's raining.
Thank you. That was my phone just telling me it looks like it's raining. And I can confirm, sir, it definitely is raining. I'll stick my brolly up, try and shelter from the rain. As I mentioned earlier, this is it's a sticky kind of rain. It's a light mist, which doesn't look very much when you're sitting here under an umbrella not moving, but throwing some powerful spot lamps in a rally car moving at 80 miles an hour down a narrow tarmac track just wider than the car, and you get a very different perception. And so a big thing on Mull is having the confidence to drive in these difficult conditions, to keep pushing, to keep the heat in the tyres, because as soon as you lose confidence and you back off a little bit, the tyres and brakes start cooling down and you lose more and more grip. If you can get over that hurdle and keep on pushing and keep everything up to temperature, it's surprising how much grip you have available. That's car 42. I'm going to try and get the tracking app working again. If I just do this. That was Alan Scott in the little MG, pushing very hard there. He's having a big battle for that front wheel drive class honours with Ali Curry. Nearly ran himself off the road there just on that right hander, but still going. Got a little bit of a gap right here. I'm going to try it. Just trying to see what the front wheel drive class battle is looking like right now. Usually that is led by Ross Hunter in the 208. I'm not sure where he's sitting in the results right now. Just having a scroll through to see if I can find him. Can't see him. Oh, here he is. Ross Hunter. Currently sitting 17th overall. So he's behind Ali Curry. The little 106. Less than 10 seconds separates them though. Just under 8 seconds. Around about 8 seconds. So all still to play for. And then once we get a time on the board for Alan Scott, we can see where he fits in. Currently, on the results that we have, it's Andy Woodward and the Renault Clio Rally 3 that rounds out the top 3 front-wheel drive cars. Wee bit of a gap here, not seeing any cars on the horizon or lights shining off. Oh, just as I say, that one pops around the corner. Good news. Sounds like another Mark II Escort. Sounding the business, high revs down that fast straight. Not a Mark II Escort at all, but it is naturally aspirated. Car 44. Let me load my entry list. I have a feeling who it might be, but I want to get it right. Car 44, Mark Constantine and Andrew Constantine. In the 1300, 1400 Vauxhall Nova. It's stopped raining, has it? I think it maybe has. Good. I'm going to take my lolly down. As the next car appears into sight. So good news. We're back here tomorrow morning. Because this stage runs again. It runs twice. In the opposite direction. And I must admit, it's one of my favourites. If not the favourite for me. I prefer it in the other direction. It's more flowing. Very high speed. Good stage to drive. So we'll be broadcasting again tomorrow for that. Hopefully the weather will continue. Well, I was going to say continue to be kind to us. Hopefully the weather will start to be kind to us. Oh, we've got 2 cars close together. Exciting. You know, when the car in front will be getting blinded by the car's lights behind. He pulls over in the lay-by to let pass the car 15, the Mitsubishi Evo, ahead of the R2 Ford Fiesta. Now what will happen, even though that car has caught and passed the Fiesta, if he stays close enough, can just tail them along, and that'll pull them along as well a little bit faster. Typically, you don't lose a lot of time here catching a car in the daylight, in the night time, because your spotlights are so bright. You're literally blinding the driver in front of you. They are under no illusions that you're right there behind you. One of the big challenges, if you're ever caught in the daylight, is you can't see very much out of the back of a rally car. And so you often don't really know. You're concentrating so much on what your navigator's saying and where you're going, you don't hear. Not so in the night time. You're very much aware. Now, the gap between these two cars, as the next one just appears round the Ulva Ferry corner, definitely less than a minute here. That was Jim McDowell in the Subaru Impreza with co-driver Shona Hale. Fatigue is a real part of this rally. The drivers, particularly those that have been doing shakedown this morning, they could be starting to feel really quite tired. Up early. Some may have had scrutiny to get through, event briefings, doing final preparations before the start of the rally, and then starting the rally about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. As Mark Booth just passed us in his Ford Escort Mark II. The rapid little fiesta of car 54, Lewis Hooper with co-driver Stephen Brown. Carrying great speed through the stage tonight. Now we have another little gap here. Not seeing any cars in the distance. Yeah, there we go. This car sounds a little bit flat, but seems to be going at a decent pace. It's Peugeot 52. Ross McDonald with co-driver Matthew Johnson. The Peugeot 28 Rally 4. Rapid along that straight. Car 56, Ian Woodward and Will Thurl Do you know what? I can't actually read that entry list because their lights blinded me. And the green Mark II Escort. It's Martin Crombie and Peter Carstairs and the Mitsubishi Evo 7. As the rain has started again. Car 59, Robert Alexander Matheson and Iona Matheson. Local team with a very bright map light. Don't know how that works in the car. You want your map light to be as dull as possible, while still allowing your co-driver to read the notes. Now we've got two cars in view fairly quickly, signalling to me less than a minute between them. Car 60, Norma McPhail and Sean Douglas, Ford Escort Mark II, local team. As car 61 rounds the bend in front of us, John Woodward and Kevin Ilkin in the Ford Escort. Just finding the rev limiter on the straight up the hill. And the rain is on again. I don't know if you can see it through the camera.
Probably can.
But there's just moisture in the air all the time here right now. Even when it's not raining, it still feels damp. Sorry, I missed the number when it passed because my brolly fell in front of my face. That's a novel excuse, isn't it? Oh, it's done it again. Okay. I've got it in a good position now. This looks like a rapid escort. Let's see. Oh, with glow-in-the-dark wheel things. I think that said car 62. David Holland and Sean Hughes. I think there were little dust caps on the wheels that were glowing, lighting up. Quite cool. And dare I say it, but there is another gap again. We have a car interview. Now then, who do we have here? Car 67, Keith Hall and Peter Johnson in the Mark II Escort. 2.5 from Eden Valley Motor Club. Ooh, less than a minute again between these two cars. The one going down the big straight sounds rapid. Like, how many lights are on the front of this car? Right, 53. Did I see that right? Car 53? Car 53. Mark. No, that can't be right. Maybe I need to get my eyes tested. I'm sure that said 53, but it looked like a Nova. Car 53 in the entry list is a Mark II Escort. Alright, let's see if we can do better here. Car 113. That looked like an Opel Adam to me. The sound is great going down that big straight. Car 113 is Tom Considine and Tony Walker in the Opel Adam Rally 2 R2, I should say, not Rally 2. 1600. Definitely less than a minute intervals between these two. Will he catch him before the end of the stage? Probably not. But he will see the lights now in the distance, so it will spur them on behind him to push a little bit harder. Let's see who we have here then. Car 65. 65 is Malcolm Davey and Mike Broadbent. Cars are coming thick and fast now. 69, Jack Hall and Charlotte Ruth McCashin. Hopefully I got that right. And the Proton Compact 1400. Car 70, the Subaru of David Miller and Andrew Bailey. I believe David Bailey has previously led this rally. Didn't manage to convert it to a win, but he did lead it for a while. What else would you be doing at 10 to 1 on a Friday night? Two cars coming here fairly close together. Rapid little car. Car 71. Paul Daniel, Robert Wood. So we're going to stick with you for one more car. And then we're going to call it a night here on stage 5 final stage of the opening leg of the rally. But don't worry, we're back again tomorrow, broadcasting live on Facebook from this, the opening stage of the rally. Loch Tuath and Hill Road joining, so they'll come the opposite way that we've been seeing them come through tonight, and then they'll continue to go over the Hill Road, only to do it all again in the afternoon on stage 8, but this time just this part of the stage. So we'll be live tomorrow around 5 to 1 in the afternoon. A bit of a chance for all the teams and organisers to get a bit of respite. As car 72 rounds out our evening here. Fraser McNichol and Charlie Mackenzie in their Ford Escort Mark II RS 1800. Well, it's been a pleasure keeping you company in the rain, and we'll see you again tomorrow.